Yes, Afaf, can you hear me? Afaf, can you hear me?
Ji ma'am, I can.
Okay, there was a network problem from my end. Okay, so let's begin. Let's resume. Payback period, as we said, any common man would also consider that when his initial investment would be recovered, he would be concerned about it. No matter he's a qualified person, he's a very educated person, or even he's a layman, he will be concerned about it. But my question to you was that why? Why is this so much important to any common man?
Ma'am, because like besides like time value of money, uh, it is the only capital invested because he's like, first of all, if we are going to invest something, we are also planning to have some profits as well. So like it's also important for him to take some profits as well. For example, if I invest $1 lakh for 2 years,
Yeah,
and
that's
if
right.
I
You are concerned about
exactly.
profit, so you should be concerned about profit. Why are you concerned about recovering your initial payment as soon as possible? That's the payback period method, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then why so worried about this? You should be worried about profit. How much profit will this project earn me? How much profit should this project will earn me? And how much profit this project should earn me? But over here, they are saying that the way of appraising a project is payback period, payback method, not profit method. Hmm. Think, you know, I know you know.
Um,
Because nobody wants to incur a loss,
yes, ma'am.
right? कि ठीक है मैंने पैसा
जी मैम.
लगाया, प्रॉफिट आ रहे, मैंने प्रॉफिट के लिए ही पैसा लगाया, मगर मुझे बहुत डर है इस बात का कि कहीं मेरा पैसा, मेरा बेसिक कैपिटल भी डूब ना जाए। यानी मैं अगर ये 1 लाख
मैम.
अपने दोस्त को दूंगा तो वो कहीं लेकर भाग ना जाए। सो आई वुड बी मोर कंसर्न अबाउट दैट। I would be more concerned that if I invest in this project, in this project, in this project, I don't care about the profit, but at least will I get back my capital amount or not? And how fast will I get it back so that I feel safe about it? I feel that it's risk free. But of course,
जी
nothing
मैम.
comes without risk, and especially profit never comes without high risk, right? So, initial
Yes, ma'am.
investment, everybody is concerned, they want to play safe so that at least their capital amount is recovered as soon as possible. Then profit will keep on coming. Then that's not a, that's bonus, that's plus, right? But at least what about my initial investment? How fast will I get it? So this is how any investor acts out of fear. Okay, payback period. So let's check this out. Payback period is pretty simple, and I'm assuming that you know it. Am I assuming it right, or
Yes, ma'am.
should we do it?
Yes, ma'am.
It's
Ma'am, you're assuming it right. Ma'am,
okay.
actually, it's okay. I'm much concerned about these MPV things, actually.
NPV. So
NPV
let's
or
so let's begin with the NPV.
AR
So
things.
first,
My God.
time value of
Yes,
money,
ma'am.
we know, we have already discussed it earlier, that with the time, as the time passes by, the value of money falls or decreases. That is but a reality or a fact in the world of accountancy. Next, discounting and compound interest. What's the difference between discount and compound? How is it different? Do you know the difference between them? Discounting and compounding?
Discounting and compound, ma'am. Discounting, to like we keep the factor here in discounting. Like, for example, if I have 1,000 today, and uh, इसकी 5 साल बाद क्या वैल्यू होगी? And
See,
yes, ma'am.
simply the difference is that, for example, 10,000 is your principal amount,
Yes,
and you are getting an
yes,
interest
ma'am.
of 10%, which makes it how much? 10% of 10,000 is
1,000.
1,000. Now, every year you're getting an interest of 1000. This is simple discounting. What is compounding? Compounding is
Yes, ma'am.
you are getting an interest of 10% on 10,000, which is 1000 in year 1. In year 2, you will be getting 10% of 11,000. Why? Because now you have 10,000 plus 1,000 in your bank account. So 10% of 11,000 means how much? 1,100. Year 3, 10% of 11,000 plus 1,100. How much does it make? Think, if I'm not wrong, 12,100. And then
Yes, ma'am.
1,210. So this is how it's going to multiply. This is how it's going to compound your interest. This is the difference. This is simple interest. This is compound interest. Now, there is a formula which you need to learn, which you need to remember. One is this, S is equals to P in the bracket 1
Yes,
plus R
ma'am.
to the power of N. What is it saying?
Yes,
S
ma'am.
is the future value. P is the
Yes, ma'am.
principal amount, which is invested now. Rate is the rate of interest and N is the number of years. It is very simple. For example,
Yes, ma'am.
suppose that we invest $2,000 now at 10%. What would the investment be worth after the following number of years? 5 years, 6 years. Can you apply the formula and calculate and tell me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do it quickly. You have 2 minutes. Part A done.
G, ma'am, I'm just confused here in calculator actually. Where is
Why? S is equals to, we don't know right now. We invested 2,000. 1 plus rate was 10% to the power how many years? 5 years.
actually okay, ma'am. I just found it. E220 for 5 years.
3,222?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So I hope you got hold of it. So we are moving ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Now there is this same formula which you can reverse to find P. P, that means the principal amount. So P is
Yes,
equals
ma'am.
to S1 plus R to the power minus N. Now, how will you solve this minus n? So the simple way is you will just reverse. P is equals to S divided by 1 plus R to the power n. In order to remove the minus sign, what you need to do, you need to, if it is like this, you need to convert it and make it like this. Does this make it clear? The minus sign will go away if you do 1 divided by 1 plus R to the power n. So
Okay,
this is the formula if you need to find the principal amount.
okay.
Next. Now there is one more way to find this 1 plus R to the power of n. And this is through the present value table. Can you please take out your
Yes, ma'am.
present value table?
Where is it? Present value?
It's at the back side of your textbook. Here it is.
यहाँ तो नजर नहीं आ रहा. हाँ, yes, ma'am. Present value.
Okay. So
जी, ma'am.
how are you going to apply it rather than solving it? What you need to do, for example, this 8%, you need to do 1 plus 8% to the power n, that is the number of years, 2 years. But instead of doing all of this, what you do, you go directly to the present value table. 8% year 2, 8% year 2, 0.857. Simply multiply. 0.87, simply multiply the amount provided and you will get the answer. Okay, so rather than solving this entirely, you are being provided by the present value table for your ease. Now, what is equivalent annual rate of interest? EAR. Equivalent annual rate of interest is an interest which is compounded at intervals shorter than a year. Daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly basis. That means 2% per month or 2% per week. It depends. So what we need to do, we cannot use this percentage directly in order to find the future value or the present value. So what we need to do, we need to convert it into yearly rate. So what are we going to do? We are going to convert it into the non-annual compounding interest rate can be converted into an effective annual rate of interest. EAR, effective annual rate of interest. This is also known as APR, annual percentage rate. And this is also known as by one more terminology, which you must have studied in MA2, but I don't know you remember or not. CAR, compound annual rate of interest. So effective annual rate of interest is equals to APR is equals to CAR. It all means the same. And what does it do? It basically converts this monthly rate or the weekly rate into yearly rate. And how does it do that? Using the formula 1 plus capital R is equals to 1 plus small r to the power n. Are you following till here, Afaf?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Following.
Capital R is the effective annual rate, small r is the period rate, n is the number of periods in a year. Can you try this one? Just apply the formula, nothing else. 1.5% per month compounded to the yearly rate. And yearly rate means what? Effective annual rate. Just apply the formula. Capital R is the effective annual rate which we need to find out. Small r is the rate which is 1.5% which we can apply. And the number of years, obviously it's per month. So that means in 1 year, it's how many months? 12 months. So 1 plus r, this would be the equation. So 12. Are you done? Afaf?
Ma'am, with the first one, I'm done actually. It was mute, but I told you.
So done, what was the answer?
It was 1.19561.
So 1.956 makes it 19.56%.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So try out part B and C also quickly.
Ma'am, why it got minus? Okay, okay, ma'am. 'Ma'am, will it be 12 by 4? Yes, 12 by 4. No, 12 by 4. Yes. It's 12 by 4, 3. 11.4116.
No, it's 19.25. And where you got it wrong, you have to take this 4.
Oh,
12 by 3. There are
oh
3
yes,
months in a
sorry.
quarter. So how many quarters
Yeah.
in a year? 4 quarters.
मैम इसी तरह ये छोटी छोटी चीजें है ना मैम, यहाँ पे मैं गलतियां करता हूँ.
तो आप गलती नहीं करो ना,
हाँ.
इसलिए तो करा रहे हैं ना क्लास में. याद रखो. अब इसी तरह ये होगा. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग होल्ड ऑफ द सम
Yes,
हाउ वी आर
ma'am.
डूइंग इट, राइट?
Yeah,
नेक्स्ट,
yeah,
मूविंग
ma'am.
ahead. Now see, this is known as EAR, APR, CAR as well. Done. Next. Now here is a sum, but it's effective rate of interest sum. So I'm not going to do this because it's easy. Moving ahead, net present value. Net present value of discounting cash flows. What is it? It's a method of appraising project. And what does it do? If the net present value is coming positive, that means the project is acceptable. If the net present value is coming negative, then that means the project is not acceptable. So how do we do it? Let's see. It's very simple, very basic. A project would involve a capital outlay of $24,000. That means it needs an investment of $24,000. Profits before depreciation each year would be 5,000 for 6 years. That means before they calculated depreciation, their profit was 5,000 for 6 years. And the cost of capital is 12%. Is the project worthwhile? Now, how to do it? First, year 0. 24,000 negative. Why negative? Because you're investing into the project. So negative. Then year 1, every year each year you're getting 5,000. So 5,000 for every year, you are going to write it over here. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6. Present value, it's 12%. Now you can just refer to your table, 12%. And you can take all the discount factors from here. 0.893,
Yes, ma'am.
0.797, right? And then simply just
Yes,
multiply.
ma'am.
When you multiply, you get
Yes,
the
ma'am.
present value. Once you get the present
Okay,
value, you can net it off and you can get the net present value. And if the net present value is negative, as it is in this case, then that means the project is not worthwhile. Clear?
G, ma'am.
This is pretty straightforward and easy. Now there is another thing known as
G, ma'am.
the annuity table. Annuity table. Annuity table, where can you use this? You can use this where the cash flows are the same for all years. When the cash
Yes,
flows are
ma'am.
the same, like over here, the cash flows are same for all 6 years, then you can, instead of looking at the present value table, you can directly go to the annuity table and check out 12% for 6 years, 4.111, and simply multiply 5,000 by, what is it written? 4.111. And the answer would be the same. The total of this. And then you can deduct it from 24,000, you would get the same answer. So I hope this makes it clear that how you're going to use the annuity table and the present value table. Now here are some advantages and disadvantages of NPV, that why NPV is, beneficial, because shareholder wealth is maximized. You take the time value of money into consideration. It is based on cash flows, which are less subjective than profit. Shareholders will benefit if a project with positive NPV is accepted. Whereas what are the disadvantages? It can be difficult to identify appropriate discount rate. For simplicity, cash flows are sometimes assumed to occur at year ends. This assumption may be unrealistic. In real life, it does not always happen that you're receiving cash or you're giving cash at the year end. It may happen any time between the year, right? Some managers are unfamiliar with the concept of NPV. Of course, you're studying ACCA. That's why you're getting familiar with this word, with this method, NPV. But before ACCA, had you ever heard of this terminology, NPV, net present value?
No, ma'am.
No. So that's the thing. Now these were pretty simple sums of NPV, but in F2 level, such a simple sum will not come. If you're lucky enough, then only it will come. So this is just for your understanding, but rather you need to, practice more questions which are more complicated. And some of them are given in the revision kit, whereas some of them uh, are given in various other places. I have some collection of questions for practice, so which I will be sharing with you in the group once we are done. Okay, next. Now here, discounted payback. I assume you know discounted payback as well. It considers
Yes,
the
ma'am.
time value of money. It takes into account the discount factor first. It converts the into discount factor into the present value, and then it finds out the payback period. Okay, it is simple. Annuity. What is annuity? We have discussed. This is the formula for annuity, which we will not apply. Rather, we will look at the annuity table. Now, here is a sum. A project would involve a capital outlay of $50,000. Profits would be before depreciation 12,000 per year. Cost of capital is 10%. Which would the project be worthwhile if it lasts 5 years and 7 years? So if we look at this, 5 years, 12,000 per annum, they are simply applying the annuity and see they are getting a negative NPV. 7 years, again, simply applying the annuity and directly getting a positive NPV. This is pretty simple, basic. Now over here, this is a question. Try this out. This is an interesting question.
10% first 3 years. Mm, 5 years.
Done?
Ma'am, I'm done, but I'm not sure about my answer.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
think
At
I
least you
have-
tried. A project cost $39,500. Fine. It would earn 10,000 per year for the first 3 years. So we know we can apply for the first 3 years 10,000 and then
Yeah.
8,000 per year for the next 3 years. Now the amount is changing, the cash flow is changing. So it is for from year 4 till year 4, 5, 6 till year 6. Cost of capital is 10%. Is the project worthwhile? Interesting question. Now see, basically over here, what is happening? What are you going to write? Year 0, cash flow 39,500. Then year 1, 2, 3, you're getting 10,000. So here you can apply the annuity factor, right? At the rate 10%. So for year 0, it would be 1. And for year 1 to 3, it would be how much annuity factor? 10%,
Annuity is
2.487,
yes, ma'am.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So 2.487. Now till here, it was very easy. But now the tricky
ma'am.
part comes. The tricky part is that then the amount changes to 8,000 and it's from year 4 to year 6 for the next 3 years. So how
4.355.
are we going to calculate, find the annuity factor for year 4 till 6? What are you going to take? 4.355?
Yes.
But no, because 4.355 is for the all 1 to 6 years. And we just require for years 4 to 6. So what we are going to do from this, we are going to subtract years 1 to 3 annuity, which is 2.487. So that we can only get for this year 4, 5, and 6. Are you getting the point?
Yes, ma'am.
So 4.355 minus 2.487. You get 1.868.
Oh.
And now you multiply, and whatever you will get, now you can find the NPV. So what are you getting?
34840 minus. No. Wait. 14944.
14944 is for 4 to 6. ठीक है, अब ये
Yeah.
जब आपने कर लिया calculate, you will get a positive NPV of 314. So I hope this calculation you will never forget. Such sums do come in the exam because they trick you. Okay. But it's simple. If you know the trick, if you have done it and practice it, it's easy. Okay. Now this is another formula which you must know. The project will be worthwhile if NPV is 0. For the NPV to be 0, the present value of benefits must equal the present value of cost. So present value of benefits is equals to annual savings multiplied by present value of dollar per year for 5 years at 10%. So which means 75,820 is equals to annual savings multiplied by 3.791, which gives you 20,000 annual savings. That means if the question, like over here in part B, it is asking, another project would cost 75,820. If its life is expected to be 5 years and the cost of capital is 10%, what are the minimum annual savings required to make the project worthwhile? That means what are they asking for? They are asking for that what are the minimum cash flow that they should get every year. In order to make the project worthwhile means what? That at least there is no loss. So that means NPV should be 0. And when NPV is 0, there is no profit, no loss. Afaf, are you getting till here?
Yes, ma'am.
So this sum, how are we going to do? We know the principal amount, we know the cost of capital, we know the number of years. We just need to find out what would be the cash flow in order to get NPV 0. So this is how they are telling us to do that. When the NPV is 0, the present value of benefits is equal to present value of cost. So present value of cost is 75,820 and present value of benefit
Yes,
is
ma'am.
what? Annual savings multiplied by the number of years, annuity, 3.791. So when you divide, you get 20,000 every year. The cash flow must be coming in order to get you an NPV 0.
Yes.
Okay. More complex annuity. It's the same, just like earlier. We need to find from year 3 to 6. So year 3 to 6, how are you going to find? First take 1 to 6. Write it down, then take 1 to 2, then subtract. You will get 3.217, which is 3 to 6. Then you simply do this, the regular thing. You will get the answer. I hope this is not that complicated anymore. Now, perpetuity.
Yes, ma'am, it's not.
What is perpetuity?
Perpetuity cash flow for forever, for infinity.
It's a cash flow forever. And the formula is A divided by R. What is A? A is the perpetuity per annum commencing in 1 year and R is the cost of capital. So here you calculate an investment will produce an annual return 1,500 in perpetuity with the first receipt starting in 3 years time. What is the present value of the perpetuity discounted at 8%? So simply 1,500 divided by 0.08, you get 18,750. And that is it. And discounted back to today because it started in over 3 years time. So you have to discount it for on today's value. That means over 2 years. How are you going to do discount factor? 8% year 2, 8% year 2, but no, you are not taking the annuity, you're taking the discount factor 0.857. Is it 0.857? Yes. Clear? Now, in order to calculate a break-even NPV, like, usually what investors say, अच्छा ठीक है, हमको cost of capital आप बोल रहे हो, आप हमें दोगे 10%. But we are looking for a percentage in which we will get an NPV 0. We don't want to earn profit. We don't want to earn loss. We just want to see
Yes, ma'am.
that where our NPV would be 0. So we need to give us that percentage. So in order to find that percentage, this method comes into the field, internal rate of return, IRR. Now this method includes two percentages. 1% would be given
Yes,
to you in the question, and the other percentage you will have to assume and find out the NPV. So here basically
yes,
this is the format of IRR, that year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, cash flow given. All of this will be given in the question. Discount factor 10% will be given in the question. The another factor you need to choose. Either you will choose 15%, 20%, your wish, your choice. Whatever you choose, you just need to ensure that you are getting one positive NPV and one negative NPV. Even if
ma'am.
you're not getting one negative, means usually you are going to make sure, but in case you're not getting it, then you can work out with both the positives or both the negatives, but it's better if you get one negative and one positive.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you can simply apply the formula, which is this, which you need to learn. IRR is equals to capital A plus brackets A divided by A minus B, multiply by B minus A. What is capital B? Capital B is the bigger amount, is a discount rate which provides the negative NPV. It's usually the bigger percentage. And the A is the discount rate which provides positive NPV, which is usually the lower percentage. And the small a and small b is the amount of NPV. B is the negative, A is the positive. And what are the advantages? Time value of money, simple percentage, it is sensitive to calculations. Problems, it is bit confusing, it is conflicting, it, managers are unfamiliar, it is very technical. It assumes that funds can be reinvested at rate equivalent to IRR. Now, here is a question which I don't want you to do. Here is another question. Okay, you can try these out at home. These are not that complicated. Relevant and non-relevant cost. What are these?
Ma'am, relevant costs that can be that are relevant to our project site that can't be avoided.
Relevant to a project, and it has three features. Number one, it's going to happen in the future. Number two, it is incremental. That means it will increase your current day cost. And number three, it is a cash flow. It is a cash flow. It is not an assumption of cash flow, but it is an actual cash inflow or outflow. And this is happening all because of the project, because you have decided to invest into a particular project. Had you not decided to invest in this particular project, then this would not have been considered as your relevant cost. So therefore, what are the three features of half of a relevant cost? They are
like it would be a future cost, it would be incremental, and it would be an actual inflow or cash flow or outflow.
Exactly. The other cost, avoidable cost, are those costs which you can avoid. Of course, for example, marketing cost. You don't want to invest into marketing. You don't do it. You stop it. You can avoid it. Fine. Next, differential cost. Differential cost we'll discuss. Opportunity cost, a project which you're leaving. There were two options, A and B. You chose A and therefore you left B. So what you left, what benefit you left is actually your opportunity cost. The benefit that you left is your opportunity cost. Next, non-relevant cost. include sunk cost. Sunk cost means the cost that has happened in the past. They are irrelevant to
Yes,
your
ma'am.
current decision. Committed cost, your commitments that have happened earlier. Maybe you have taken a loan from the bank earlier, just 2 months ago. So you have to fulfill that commitment because you have signed a contract. Okay, so
Yes.
that this particular cost will not be related to your current project which you are thinking to invest or you're deciding to take up the project. Then notional or imputed cost. Notional or imputed cost. It is also a kind of a cost which has happened in the past, and this cost also is not relevant to your project. Now, notional or
Yes, ma'am.
imputed, basically it means that, for example, you have factory premises, okay, factory premises, and you usually used to pay a rent for it, and that was 40K, okay. But now you have actually bought the factory premises and there is no need for you to pay the rent anymore. But what you do, you usually record it in the books so that a rent is shown, something is shown that, okay, had you not purchased it, then you would have been paying a rent for it. And therefore, then you would have been, incorporating it into the product's cost. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why they are saying that this is a notional cost, that it was just by chance that you got it, but otherwise you would have to pay the rent because all the other competitors in the market, which are making a similar product like you, they are also paying the rent. So therefore they are adding it to their cost to bring it to the market price. And therefore you can also add
Okay.
it as a notional cost to, keep your price same as the market. Otherwise your
Yes, ma'am.
price will become lower than the market price. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Next. Differential cost is the difference in relevant cost between alternatives. That means you had two options, either to do ACCA or to do CA or CFA, something. So what is happening that if you choose this, you would have to incur this cost. If you choose this, you would have to incur this cost. So the difference between these two costs will be your differential cost. Getting the point?
Got it, ma'am.
Yes. Good. Bright student. Mashallah. Okay. Committed cost we have discussed. Notional cost is a hypothetical accounting cost. Okay. Like now there is one more example for notional cost. And it is for a subsidiary. Now you are the parent for example. There is a father, Mr. A. Mr. A has his own shop. Now Mr. A is giving the shop to his son, B,
Yes, ma'am.
do business in the shop. If B would go outside in the market to work, to purchase a shop like that, he would have to pay at least a rent of 40K maybe. So this 40K he's
Yes, ma'am.
actually now paying to his father. If he is paying or he is not paying, does it matter? Does it
What do you
matter
mean, ma'am?
if he is paying to his father or not? Does it matter? Hmm?
Ma'am, I'm not getting your point actually.
See, Mr. A is the father. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. A has a shop. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the son of Mr. A. अब बेटा
Okay.
कह रहा है कि मुझे बाबा कारोबार करना है, मुझे अपनी दुकान चाहिए. तो बाबा कह रहे
जी
हैं
मैम.
ठीक है मेरी दुकान है ले लो. अब अगर बेटा दुकान
जी मैम.
लेने जाएगा बाजार में किसी और से उसको कम से कम 40,000 रेंट पे करना पड़ेगा महीने का. तो अब
जी.
यहाँ पे वो अपने बाबा को पे कर रहे हैं रेंट. तो मेरा ये सवाल ये है कि वो बाबा
जी.
को एक्चुअल में पे कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा. विल इट मेक अ डिफरेंस?
No,
Will
ma'am, it doesn't, because the same money.
because it's the same house. Okay, it will not make a difference. अरे बाप बेटे ने दिया रेंट
Exactly,
नहीं
ma'am.
दिया, बाप उसको कभी भी टॉर्चर नहीं करेगा कि तुम्हारा महीना खत्म हो गया और तुम मेरे को रेंट नहीं दिए. ठीक है, लेकिन कोई और शख्स होता, बेटे के अलावा कोई और शख्स होता, तो
Exactly.
बाप डेफिनेटली उसके पीछे जाता, रेंट दो, किराया दो, किराया दो, और हर महीने का शायद बढ़ा भी देता 6 महीने बाद। ठीक है। तो इसी तरह जैसे ये बाप बेटे का रिश्ता है, वैसे ही पेरेंट कंपनी और सब्सिडियरी कंपनी का रिश्ता होता है। तो सब्सिडियरी कंपनी अगर पेरेंट कंपनी के प्रेमिसेस में अपना मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कर रही है या यूज कर रही है, कुछ भी कर रही है, तो उसूली तौर पे अगर सब्सिडियरी कहीं भी बाहर जाएगी तो उसको रेंट पे करना पड़ेगा। लेकिन यहाँ क्योंकि पेरेंट है तो वो रेंट पे करे ना करे एक ही बात है, पैसा तो घर में ही है। ठीक है। तो अब ये सब्सिडियरी अपनी बुक्स में डेफिनेटली शो करेगी कि रेंट 40K, और पेरेंट कंपनी भी शो करेगा, मगर क्या एक्चुअल में क्या रेंट यहाँ से वहां जा रहे हैं? एक बात है, कहीं बाहर तो नहीं जा रहा ना, इदारे के अंदर ही है, घर।
मैम मुझे आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी सही।
हेलो, आई थिंक आई
जी
हैव।
मैम।
अभी ठीक है?
हेलो। जी अभी ठीक है।
यस। तो ये घर के अंदर ट्रांजैक्शन हो रही है, इसका मतलब क्या है? द ट्रांजैक्शन इज हैपनिंग विद इन द हाउस, so therefore no actual cash flow is going out of the organization, and therefore it is recorded as a notional rent. Getting the point? Apaf, I don't know, your net is not working, or is it mine? At least I'm being I can see full
मैम
signal.
यहाँ पे तो है एंड आई डोंट
ठीक है, अभी सही है?
स्क्रीन has started screen sharing। ओके मैम। जी।
हम्म।
जी अब ठीक है।
ठीक है। अच्छा जी, तो अब घर बात सारी ये है कि इदारे के बाहर कोई एक्चुअल पैसा नहीं जा रहा, जो भी है इदारे के अंदर ही है। पेरेंट सब्सिडियरी को दे या सब्सिडियरी पेरेंट को दे, इट इज विद इन दैट सेम ग्रुप ऑफ कंपनीज, right? So
एग्जैक्टली मैम।
therefore it will be known as the notional rent. Same way, notional interest charges on capital employed sometimes made against a profit center or a cost center. Again, it's within the organization.
जी मैम।
Variable cost will be relevant cost, fixed cost will be irrelevant to a decision. Why?
relevant costs are relevant to a decision। इट्स irrelevant to a decision। मैम फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट की अगर पहले बात कीजिए, फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट इसलिए irrelevant to the decision like decision because अब एक रेंट है फॉर एग्जांपल विद लाइक मतलब फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट है ना, तो
Yes, so it is fixed no matter what the decision you take. I don't know what's going wrong. Okay, I'll get back to you.